Here are 5 of the most iconic perfumes in the industry. So we have some for men, some for women. Some of these are totally unisex. We do have one designer and the rest are niche. I know there's one brand here that's a little debatable because they've been bought out by a huge parent company. And anyway, there's been a lot of debate on online fragrance forums. But despite that, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like perfume-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, please hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would truly, truly mean a lot to me. And at the end of the day, these are 5 of the most iconic perfumes in the industry. I truly love every single one of these. I don't think any of these are love it or hate it fragrances. There is one that I think has become more or less a victim of its own success just because it has garnered so much popularity over the past 15 years, but that's neither here nor there. I do want to mention that if you want to pick up any of these fragrances, you may do so at Incentives. I'm going to drop a link to it down below. It's going to be the first link down below in the description box. It is not an affiliate link. I don't make any commission off of you making any purchases whatsoever. However, they do have some incredible prices, and I personally had a conversation with the owner of the brand, and I tell you, he is an incredible individual. So as I've always said on this platform, I love supporting good people. So again, no commission made. I just want to plug a brand that I would personally use in the future and one that I think has incredible prices on some really hard to find designer and niche fragrances. If you just go ahead and check them out, don't take my word for it. Check them out. See how much a lot of their fragrances are being discounted. And I think you'll be quite pleasantly surprised. The first fragrance that I want to talk about is an amazing leather-based fragrance. I know for a lot of people, on the niche side of things, this is probably one of the most iconic leather perfumes like ever. And I get it. It's an amazing fragrance. I cannot speak highly enough about it. I don't think it's for everybody. And again, it's quite often I get in front of the camera and I say, you know what, you can check this out. I think you're going to love this. This is amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then there also happen to be a lot of times when I get in front of the camera and I say, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for everybody. I do not recommend this as a blind buy. Please go out and try it for yourself. And I think this is one of those fragrances that I have seen both men and women absolutely love. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of personal preference because leather is not for everybody. Well, this is a very spicy leather, and it's African leather by Memo Paris. I love it. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't wear this all the time. I wear this maybe once a month. This is not the type of fragrance that is a grab and go. You're leaving the house. You want to smell amazing. I think it smells amazing, but it doesn't have the mass appeal of some other fragrances on this list. But iconic, certainly. Now, speaking of iconic, you have to mention this next one, Creed's Aventus. This is probably going to be my scent of the day today. I'm meeting up with a friend later on this evening. And, anyway, we're going to have a good time. But this is a fantastic fragrance. If you're going to be out and about, it's a huge compliment magnet. Everybody knows about Aventus, right? The perfumer is Jean-Christophe Hérault. I'm sorry about that. And this is a beautiful pineapple, apple, blackcurrant, birch tar, vanilla, and cedar type of a scent. A lot of pineapple and birch. So it's fruity. It's a bit sweet, but it also has like this smoky personality on account of the birch. I think it's such a beautiful fragrance, and it is a huge compliment getter. And it's super iconic. Check out how much Incentives has this listed for. It's awesome. The next fragrance that I want to talk about, again, incredibly iconic. This is none other than Angel's Share, the original, right? So I haven't gotten Angel's Share on the rocks yet. I tried it in Sephora, and it's actually pretty good. This is a DNA that I truly love. Again, it's not an everyday type of scent, but now that the fall is almost upon us, I think it's a fantastic time to be wearing Angel's Share by Kilian Paris. This is pineapple, excuse me. I'm still talking about Aventus. This is cinnamon, amber, cognac. This is a beautiful, boozy, warm, rich type of a scent. Of course, the only difference being between this one and the Paradis counterpart is that Paradis has the raspberry, right? And then on the rocks, presumably is a bit fresher. If I'm remembering correctly, it has like a frosted glass bottle. That's the only way that I knew that it was a different angel share because I read angel share on the label. The cap was missing, but I think I remember the bottle being a frosted glass. Anyway, this for the fall and winter is superb. It's no surprise that so many brands have kind of put out their own take or twist or inspiration of this DNA, because at the end of the day, it is super iconic. Now, as far as the designer brand is concerned, I know there's a lot of debate over Kilian Paris, whether it's a designer or niche, and it's at Sephora now, which makes it a designer. But, you know, niche has a lot to do with the manufacturing of fragrances as well. This is their specialty, right? They're not making handbags. They're not making leather goods. They're not making jewelry. They're not making watches. They're not making scarves. They're not making belts. They're not making neckties. They're making fragrances. This is their specialty. Now, in regard to, or with regard to brands like Prada or Gucci or Hermes or Louis Vuitton or many of these other brands, they make a lot of other things as well, in addition to the fragrances, right? Which categorizes them as designer. So it's not just about availability or lack thereof. It also has a lot to do with the other things that the brands are doing. Nevertheless, here we have, and I'm going to talk pretty loud because there's some, I don't know, guy out there playing music in his car or whatever, and he's blasting the volume, presumably trying to impress God knows whom, and I don't want to be hit with a copyright strike, so I'm going to talk over the entire thing. This one is Jazz Club by Maison Margiela. This is a beautiful fragrance. Again, it's boozy, it's rich, it is evocative of being at a jazz club. I personally love this fragrance so much, and of course, my favorite from this brand is By the Fireplace. I cannot get enough of By the Fireplace. It is such a gorgeous fragrance. I think I also really love By the Fireplace because it has that touch of smoke in there. And so I know there's autumn vibes. There's this one. There's By the Fireplace. Autumn vibes is actually really nice as well. It's my least favorite of the bunch. It has that red leaves accord. It has the red berries. It's an interesting fragrance. And recently, I bought this one, by the way, but recently Maison Margiela sent me a PR package that had the autumn leaves candle and the eau de parfum, and I prefer the candle so much more. So it just goes to show that you have some fragrances that smell incredible, but just because they smell good doesn't mean that, you know, they're fit to be an eau de parfum. Well, in my case, I think it's a very easygoing, mass appealing fragrance. I much prefer it as a candle, but Jazz Club and By the Fireplace are both super iconic fragrances. Now, for the number one spot, we have a perfume for the ladies. And of course, this is one of the most iconic perfumes. And I could have put any number of fragrances on this list. Santal 33 by Le Labo, Baccarat Rouge by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. There are so many fragrances that could have made their way onto this list, and I chose to talk about this one just because it is the best-selling fragrance from the brand. Everybody wears it, from, you know, just casual consumers to major celebrities, including Snoop Dogg. And I think that makes it a dead giveaway. This one is none other than Delina by Parfum de Marly. Yeah, Snoop Dogg wears it. It's marketed for women. I love it, right? It's lychee, rose, peony, rhubarb, Madagascan vanilla. One of the most iconic DNAs. And again, just like Angel Share by Kilian Paris, there are so many brands that have duped it and they have put out their version of it. And at the end of the day, as I always say, if you want the original, you got to go with the original. The other brands do come quite close, I would say, but I think there's some sort of charm to having the original. Huge compliment getter, super addictive, very sexy. You can wear it all year round. You know, I think Valaya, for example, from the same brand, it's great for the hotter weather. I think Oriana is great for the colder weather. But with regard to Delina, I think it's incredibly versatile, which I think contributes to its success and the reason why so many people love it and they wear it so often. 5 of the most iconic perfumes, like, ever, right? This is it. I can easily make a part 2, part 3, part 4. If I had made this a top 10 or top 15 or top 20, that could have worked as well. I just didn't want to utilize too much of your time. I know we all have a busy life and a busy schedule, but I do want to take a moment to very sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning into this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you took something of value from today's episode. And of course, as I always say, if you did, please do consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would mean everything to me. Thanks again for watching. I love you all. We'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.